What's up, amigos? It's the Prodigy Maker Minute with yours truly, Chris Lewitt. As you may know, I'm the former #1 for Cornell University, pro circuit player, elite junior development coach, and author and educator, author of The Secrets of Spanish Tennis and the Tennis Technique Bible. Well, we've been talking about injury prevention and physical training and how some parents are very, very involved with their child's physical training. And one thing I've noticed, and you guys might find it interesting, is I've worked with a lot of Russian families, a lot of Eastern European families. And for some reason, in those cultures, there's a strong emphasis on the physical training and the athletic development of the athlete, of the young child. And so, with a lot of prodigies that I've worked with, if they're from Eastern Europe, if they're Russian, for some reason in those countries, maybe going back to like the Soviet era in 1970s and 80s, where basically Russia led the world in terms of strength and conditioning and developing athletes for the Olympic stage. Maybe going back to those roots, but there's just a strong prioritization of strength and conditioning, injury prevention, general athlete building, and I've noticed that is a common theme among those types of families and with parents from that background and from those types of countries. And that's not to say that parents from other countries sometimes don't work on the physical side, but I think that's a very clear trend for me, having worked with many Eastern European and Russian families. And I think it's wonderful. I'm curious. It's a curious oddity to me phenomenon, because sometimes I've worked with many parents who don't do any of that. They sort of just, I don't want to malign American parents, but I work with many families from the US, and sometimes we have a situation here where the kid is doing a lot of tennis and the parents don't emphasize the physical side much at all. And I think that is, for some reason, pretty common here in the US. I think it's a real problem, actually. And I just love the fact that I love when parents are focused on the physical side. I think it's such a blessing, so important. When parents see their role as not just developing a tennis player, but developing a better athlete, a stronger athlete, faster athlete, a more durable athlete. And that's been my experience. I was immediately attracted to the system in Spain because they have that same focus. They really believe in developing a strong athlete and indomitable physical capabilities. And I see the same thing in Russia and Eastern Europe. Maybe that's one of the reasons why many of those families from Eastern Europe and Russia like to go to Spain and complete their training there. Many families from Russia and Eastern Europe moved to Spain. There's a strong connection between those countries and Spain. But yeah, I just love this. I love the Spanish way of doing it. I love working with any family from any country that really believes and values the physical side. So in some ways that manifests are in the warm-ups. Some parents have their kids doing proper physical warm-ups, good dynamics, good injury prevention in the warm-ups, good activation of the body and the nervous system. That has to do with also cool downs, good stretching, good work on long-term flexibility, on mobility, on recovery, and then of course getting into the gym, getting to the track, doing those basic fundamental athlete building work that happens when you run, when you sprint, when you jump, when you lift weights, or even lifting body weight. I just find that when parents are involved and working with a young child on those aspects, it just pays huge dividends later on. You have a better athletic specimen to work with as a tennis coach, and that is always something that I respect and I value. So I love when parents do that. If you're a parent trying to raise a young champion, take note of that. And if you haven't already started working on the physical side with your young athlete, I highly recommend you get involved with that, and don't just let that side, don't just focus on the tennis side. Have a dual focus on those two important pillars of tennis, obviously, but also athlete building, injury prevention, strength and conditioning. Have those dual focuses, and I think you'll develop a much better champion. Guys, hope you enjoyed that Prodigy Maker Minute. If you like this show, please check out my big show, the Prodigy Maker Show. We're coming out with a new podcast and YouTube show very soon. We have a couple episodes on tap. I've been extremely busy on the court coaching, which is wonderful. That's my joy in life, to be on the court with kids, some adults, but mostly kids, all competitive players. And I will try to get back to regularly posting our show that I know a lot of you guys have been asking for. So I'll see you guys on the next program.